You already know that one bad night of sleep makes you feel terrible the next day. Tired, foggy, irritable. But what most people don't realize is that the damage goes far deeper than just feeling groggy. In the 24 hours after a single night of poor sleep, your brain, your immune system, your hormones, your metabolism, and even your emotional health all take measurable hits. Some of the effects will genuinely surprise you. Today we're walking through exactly what happens inside your body, hour by hour, after just one bad night of sleep. Welcome back to VitalRest, your weekly source for sleep and wellness science that actually makes a difference. Today's video is one of the most eye-opening we've made so far, because most people think poor sleep just makes you tired, but the science tells a very different story. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why sleep isn't optional, and why protecting it is one of the most important things you can do for your health. Let's get into it. Let's start with the organ that takes the biggest hit, your brain. Within just a few hours of poor sleep, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rational thinking, decision-making, and impulse control, begins to slow down significantly. Studies show that after one night of poor sleep, cognitive performance drops by up to 30%. That means slower thinking, worse memory, and poorer judgment, all from a single bad night. But here's what's even more alarming. Your brain has a built-in waste-clearing system called the glymphatic system. It works like a drainage network, flushing out toxic waste products that accumulate in your brain during the day. This system is almost exclusively active during deep sleep. When you miss deep sleep, that toxic waste, including proteins linked to Alzheimer's disease, stays in your brain instead of being cleared out. One bad night won't cause lasting damage, but it gives you a very clear picture of what chronic poor sleep does over time. Your reaction time also slows dramatically after one bad night. Research from the University of Pennsylvania found that people who slept only 6 hours a night for 2 weeks performed as poorly on reaction time tests as people who had been awake for 48 hours straight, and they didn't even realize how impaired they were. Here's one most people never connect to sleep: your immune system. During sleep, your body produces and releases cytokines, proteins that help your immune system fight infection, inflammation, and stress. When you don't sleep well, cytokine production drops significantly. A landmark study published in a major medical journal found that people who slept less than 6 hours were 4 times more likely to catch a cold when exposed to the virus, compared to people who slept 7 hours or more. 4 times more likely, from just one category of sleep difference. Your immune system is also responsible for fighting abnormal cells in your body, including early cancer cells. Chronic sleep disruption has been consistently linked to increased cancer risk in long-term studies. One bad night won't cause cancer, but it is a powerful reminder of just how essential sleep is to your body's defense system. Sleep and your metabolism are deeply connected, and one bad night throws your entire hormonal balance off. After a single night of poor sleep, 2 key hunger hormones shift dramatically. Ghrelin, your hunger hormone, spikes. Leptin, your fullness hormone, drops. The result? You feel significantly hungrier the next day, you crave high-calorie, high-sugar foods more intensely, and you feel less satisfied after eating. Research shows that sleep-deprived people consume an average of 300 to 500 extra calories the following day, not because they need more energy, but because their hunger hormones are dysregulated. Your insulin sensitivity also drops after one bad night. Insulin is the hormone that helps your cells absorb glucose from your blood. When insulin sensitivity drops, your blood sugar stays elevated for longer after meals, which over time increases the risk of type 2 diabetes. And of course, cortisol spikes. As we covered in our cortisol video, elevated cortisol increases fat storage, particularly around your abdomen. One bad night of sleep triggers a measurable cortisol increase the very next day. This is the one most people feel most clearly, but understand least: the emotional impact of poor sleep. After one bad night, your amygdala, the brain's emotional alarm system, becomes up to 60% more reactive. This means things that wouldn't normally bother you feel overwhelming. Small frustrations feel like major problems. You're quicker to anger, quicker to anxiety, and slower to recover emotionally from setbacks. At the same time, the connection between your amygdala and your prefrontal cortex, the rational part of your brain that keeps your emotions in check, weakens significantly. In simple terms, your emotional brain turns up, while your logical brain turns down. This is why everything feels so much harder and more dramatic after a bad night of sleep. Research also shows that one night of poor sleep increases feelings of loneliness and social withdrawal. People who are sleep deprived are more likely to avoid social interaction, And interestingly, others can detect this social withdrawal and rate sleep-deprived people as less attractive and less approachable. Sleep deprivation is quite literally written on your face. If you exercise or have any kind of physical goal, this section matters a lot. After one bad night of sleep, your physical performance drops measurably. Strength, speed, endurance, and coordination all decline. Your body also produces less human growth hormone during poor sleep, the hormone responsible for muscle repair and recovery. This means your workouts become less effective, and your body takes longer to recover from physical activity. Pain sensitivity also increases significantly after poor sleep. Studies show that sleep-deprived individuals report higher pain levels from the same stimuli compared to well-rested individuals. If you suffer from chronic pain, headaches, back pain, joint pain, poor sleep is almost certainly making it worse. So let's bring it all together. After just one bad night of sleep, your brain slows down by up to 30%. Your immune system weakens, your hunger hormones go haywire, your emotional reactions become 60% more intense, and your physical performance drops across the board. Sleep is not laziness. Sleep is not wasted time. Sleep is the single most powerful recovery tool your body has, and it costs you nothing. If this video gave you a new perspective on sleep, please hit the like button and subscribe to VitalRest if you haven't already. We post weekly sleep and wellness science that could genuinely change how you feel every day. In our next video, we're covering a breathing technique that reduces stress in under 60 seconds, and the science behind why it works so powerfully. See you there.